दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। भुजे सव्यवेणुं शिरसि शिखिपिच्छं कटितटे दुकूलां नेत्रान्ते सहचरकटाक्षं विदधते सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावनवसति लीलापरिचयो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे। वन्दे नन्दव्रजस्त्रीणां पादरेणुम् अभीक्ष्णशः यासां हरिकथोद्गीतं पुनाति भुवनत्रयं भक्त्या विहीन अपराधलक्षैक्षिप्ताश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयी त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नवृन्दे नुमस्ते चरणारविन्दं भूमस्वखलितपादानां भूमिरेव यवलम्बनं त्वय्यजातयपराधानां त्वमैव शरणं प्रभु। वागीशा यस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्या च वक्ष्यासि यस्यास्ते हृदये संवित्तं नृसिंहामहं भजे। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ये थोड़ा जाकर के भोग में दे सकते हो क्या ठाकुर जी का? मधुसूदन प्रभु को दे देना, ये ठाकुर जी को, परम गुरु जी को और गुरु जी को तीनों का। हाँ तीनों को देने के लिए बोलना। So we read yesterday verse number 17 and 18 where it is said that by the influence of his own time all the material energies they come to an equilibrium, and at that point of time all the entire material world, all the demigods and other living entities, everything, they take shelter of Supreme Lord's womb. Everything enters back into the womb of Supreme Lord. At that time the Lord remains completely free from any activity, because Maya is in a state of sleep. The Lord is not in a state of sleep, but the Maya is in a state of sleep through which the creation, maintenance, the three modes of material nature, they take place. That is in a sleeping state. Therefore, at that state there are no activities, and he remains as Paramananda in full bliss and in an abode, Kaivalya Sanyak Sanatan, eternal abode where all the pure devotees are offering service to him. The living entities, they enter into his abode, but still he remains in his own abode as an object of service to his dear devotees. So Kaivalya we heard as then that which is Kevala Bhakti, one-pointed devotion is Kaivalya. Kaivalya in general terms it is like Kaivalya Mukti, entering into the Lord's form. But our devotees, Parampara, our Param Gurudev, he used to say Kaivalya means Kevala Bhakti, he who has got one-pointed devotion. And the abode of Kevala Bhakti, Kaivalyanatha. Kaivalyanath means our Gajendra, Namah Kaivalyanathaya. He says, I offer my obeisances to Kaivalyanath, the master of Kaivalya. Master of Kaivalya means he who is an abode of all the devotees who are one-pointedly serving him. So this we heard yesterday. Now we will continue from verse number 19 of chapter 9, canto 11. केवल आत्मानुभवेन स्वमायां त्रिगुणात्मिकां संक्षोभयन् सृजत्यादौ तया अरविंदम। हे रिपुदमन, तिनी सृष्टि काले प्रथमतः स्वीय प्रभाव रूपी काल द्वारा त्रिगुणात्मिका निज माया के क्षोभित करिया तद्वारा क्रियाशक्ति प्राधान्य युक्त महत्तत्वेर सृष्टि करें। So here Avadhuta Brahmana is telling to Yadu, my dear king, that same Supreme Lord at the time of creation, this was spoken at the time of annihilation, everything enters back into him and the Maya is at rest. Now at the time of creation, what happens is being spoken in this verse. The same person at the time of creation, at first when the time appropriate comes, as the influence of the time, as annihilation also happens at the appropriate time, and the creation also happens at the appropriate time. At that time, Trigonatmika Nija Maya ke Kshobita Korya. At that earlier, Maya was in a state of sleeping, in a dormant state. So he agitates Maya. At the time of creation, he agitates Maya. By the agitation of Maya, Kriya Shakti Pradhanya Yukta, then she will become, empowered with activity. So far she was not doing any activity. But when the Lord, agitates Maya, then she immediately becomes, comes into action. And Mahatattva Srishti Koran. And Maya creates Mahatattva. Mahatattva is the principle that is required to create, all the material elements, the ego, the modes of material nature, everything comprised inside Mahatattva. So Maya creates this Mahatattva, which is further, created into the various species, and then they are impregnated with the living creatures. Then it becomes, active. Maya is not impregnating. The impregnating feature is the Supreme Lord only. He impregnates the living source into the various. Maya has created Mahatattva. Only when it is impregnated by the Supreme Lord, they become active and they become, the living entities, or everything becomes, animated. In this material world, we see the trees are there, the seasons are there, the sun, everything, the entire universe becomes animated after the Lord, agitates Maya Shakti. Now, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, Jagater Sanghar Dekhaiya Srishti Dekhaite Chen Keval Atma Anubhav Dwara Chit Shaktir Prabhav Bale. So, now in the previous verse he spoke about how the entire universe or the cosmos is dissolved. Now, in this verse he is speaking how it is again evolved. How? Chit Shaktir Prabhav Bale Nija Maya Pradhan ke Jagaiya. So Maya was in a dormant state, Maya was in a sleeping state. So now he agitates Maya, he awakens Maya. How? By his own ikshan, by his own sight. You see, for the Supreme Lord to, impregnate, just by the sight he can impregnate any living being. You see, every different creatures, they, produce offsprings by different mechanisms, isn't it? Some by touch, some by saliva, some by something else. So there are different ways of impregnating, but the Lord simply by the sight, because in Brahma Samhita it says, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Rasujjvala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. There, Brahmaji says, Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vrittimanti. He says, one limb of or an organ of Supreme Lord can do multiple activities of other organs also. Like the eyes here, we can only see. We cannot taste using eyes, isn't it? Can anyone taste? No. Maybe a person who is expert in looking and identifying, okay, everything seems okay now, it will be taste nice. There are very few people, but he cannot taste it actually, right? By ears, nobody can taste or nobody can see, But the Lord has the capacity of doing any activity with any of his limbs. If the Lord were also limited like us, only you can see with your eyes, nothing else, then again the Lord will lose his absolute position as being called as absolute. So anything that we call the Supreme Lord to be within a dictionary of our own understanding, it cannot be called as Lord. If we bind certain rules that Lord means he can do only these things, it is not Lord. Lord can go outside your box. He will go outside your box. What can we imagine? What potencies we can imagine? These days, the Hollywood directors, the Bollywood directors, everyone, they are creating so many newer superheroes, isn't it? The superhero can do anything. Where did they get this concept from? This is God. Somehow they cannot directly worship God, but they create some fictional person and show him, project him as a superhero, because all of us, believe it or not, all of us have the tendency to submit to a person who has more powers than us. All of us. We may accept it or we may not accept it. If we don't accept God, then we will have to create certain, superheroes like this. Because ultimately, all of us are worshippers of supreme energy, supreme power. Isn't it? All of us, we are actually, in one sense, we are Shaktas. Shakta means worshippers of Shakti, worshippers of the energy. Actually, it's a very, very intricate thing that Prabhupada used to tell often. Shaktas actually refers to worshippers of Durga and Kali, etc. Those are worshippers of the energies. Srila Prabhupada, during one of his lectures on Radhashtami, he says, we are the true Shaktas. We are the true worshippers of energy. Why? We are worshippers of Radharani. Radharani is the complete energy of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So we are actually, in one sense, we are not Karshnas. Karshna means worshippers of Krishna. We are not worshippers of Krishna. We are inclined to serve Radharani. Therefore, we are Shaktas. We are worshippers of energy. Actually, it is so that through the grace of Radharani only, we can get the grace of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Through energy, one can approach the energetic. Without the blessings of energy, one cannot approach the energetic. Therefore, we say also in Indian deities, all the preceding deities, Radha Krishna. First Radharani, then Krishna. Sita Ram, Sita and then Ramchandra. Lakshmi Narayan, Lakshmi and then Narayana. Shakti first and Shaktiman next. Energy first and the source of energy next. Because through energy only one can serve the energetic. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, in true sense, we are Shaktas. Not the material Shaktas, worshippers of Durga and Kali, but in true sense, we are Shaktas. So, why I said this is, all of us, every one of us have this tendency to submit where there is supreme energy. Because we don't believe in the existence of Supreme Lord, the atheistic people, they create their own superheroes. He is the superhero, he is this, he is that. But actually, the superhero is only Supreme Lord. Nobody else can be superheroes. Because the powers that we ascribe to the superhero is only as far as we can imagine. You understand the point? We can ascribe to superhero only those powers that we can imagine. Maybe we don't have, but we can imagine. Oh, superhero means he will be like this, he will be like this, he should have this, he should have this. But the Lord has even more than what we can conceive in our minute brain or intelligence. But we don't believe, because we are atheistic, we don't believe in Supreme Lord. We fall victim to these so-called superheroes. And then we think that superhero means only he has got only these qualities. No. Kartum, akartum, anyata kartum. So, eva Ishwaraha, only he is Supreme Lord who can do something that which cannot be, that which is impossible, means he can do the impossible possible. Kartum, anyatha kartum, whatever he has done, he can undo it. And whatever he has undone, he can redo it. That is Supreme Lord. Understand? Whatever he has done, he can undo it. What undo it means? Okay, let us take an example to understand more clearly. Now, let's say I am a student of engineering. Okay, now I am into my third year of engineering. But suddenly I feel, oh, I should have taken a medical course, rather than engineering course. I don't belong here. Can you undo your time? Can you go back 3 days, 3 years, 4 years, and then okay, now I am back at my old school. Now I can take medicine from here. Is it possible? Maybe it's possible in the movies for the superheroes, because the Lord has it. Now, where can any person conceive these ideas? If they are not there in Supreme Hero, the Supreme Lord, then how can our tiny brain even conceive of those ideas? We are conceiving an idea means it is there in Supreme Lord. We are not able to conceive, those are also there. But conceiving, they are also there. So the Lord can do, undo, redo everything. Example. In the Kurukshetra, Arjuna has taken a vow that tomorrow I am going to kill, what's his name? Jayadratha. Tomorrow I am going to kill Jayadratha because he was responsible for stopping the Pandavas into the Padma Vyuha, where his son Abhimanyu got trapped and he was killed. So Arjuna took a vow that tomorrow I am going to kill Jayadratha. And if I am unable to do so, if I fail to do so, then I shall give up my body. I shall jump into fire and give up my body. So the next day, when when we take such very difficult challenges and promises, our mind, what happens? Usually our mind is so much in tension that I want to do it at any cost today. Isn't it? How do we get entangled into doing or not doing anything? When we are overly worried about something. So Arjuna was overly worried. Today I have to kill Jayadratha at any cost. Today I have to kill Jayadratha at any cost. And the Kauravas, they were very happy. Why? If one day we can stop Arjuna from approaching Jayadratha, he is gone. Their challenge is very simple. That if Arjuna can be stopped from reaching Jayadratha, then Arjuna will kill himself in the night. So Arjuna is gone means Pandavas finished. So very simple for them. So much tension in Arjuna. When the tension is more, then you cannot concentrate on your target. So many persons, Bhishma is coming, so many persons are coming, trying to stop Arjuna from going towards Jayadratha. Jayadratha was sent very far. You go and fight in the army there. Don't come anywhere close to Arjuna. You should stay very, very far. Jayadratha was sent very far, and Arjuna was fighting here. But he was not in a concentration to attack anyone. He is only thinking, how can I reach Jayadratha? How can I reach Jayadratha? And the Kauravas, one after another, the great warriors, they are coming to stop him. And slowly the sun is setting. And in those days, the war starts at a fixed time when there is, blow of the conch shell, not before that. And after the sunset, at the time of sunset, then there is a blow of the conch shell, and then the war comes to an end. Now, the sun is setting. As the sun is setting, Arjuna's tension is only increasing. Oh, I am still not able to find my Jayadratha. No, so many persons are stopping me. So he was worried, and he was completely in a state of, extreme dejection. Then Krishna is very good at joking. He, takes the moments very lighter, and then he, through his humor and wit, Arjuna, you should have thought about this yesterday. Why did you take such vows that you will kill Jayadratha in one day? Have you forgotten the power of the Kauravas? Why do you take such vows at all? My dear Lord, it is, I have, committed a mistake. Arjuna, there is still time. You can think what can be done. Then Arjuna is in a state of worry. So Krishna sees my devotee is in a state of worry. What he does is, he immediately Even the sun is not completely set, he sends his discus, Sudarshana, and then says, stop the sun. Now the sun is stopped, the sun's rays are not coming. Everyone thought it is dark. Now is finished. Today's fight is finished. So Arjuna could not kill Jayadratha. So then all the Kauravas started to dance. Now Arjuna is gone. Today, in the middle of all of us, he will set fire, and then he will burn himself. Jayadratha also came to see. I want to see how Arjuna is being, running into the fire. I want to see him. As soon as Jayadratha came, then Krishna told Sudarshan, come. As soon as Sudarshan came, again bright sunlight came. Arjun, what are you seeing? Just shoot at him. You have promised to kill Jayadratha. He is there in front of you. Kill him. Then Arjuna immediately kills him, and then Jayadratha is finished. When Jayadratha is finished, then the Kauravas they lost because they thought that today Arjuna is finished. But on the contrary, Jayadratha is finished. Why? Krishna can do something that others cannot do, and he can undo what he has done. Isn't it? Can we do anything like this? Our superheroes? Maybe in the movies they can do, but not outside. But Supreme Lord, there is nothing impossible for him. That is why he is. And also there is another risk of killing Jayadratha. Because if Jayadratha is killed, and if his head falls on the ground, then immediately from whose arrow, due to whose arrow that has hit the Jayadratha's head, that person, the shooter of the arrow, his head will also be broken. He is finished. So either way, it is a actually win-win situation for the Kauravas. But Krishna, when Krishna is there, nobody can. He knows past, present, and future. He knows everything. So Arjuna does not know. He tells, hey Arjun, beware. Now you shoot him, and his head should fall in the hands of his father. His father is sitting at that particular location, he told the place, and he is sitting in meditating. It should go and fall in his hands. Because if it falls anywhere else, you are gone. So the Kauravas were still happy. If Jayadratha is killed, Arjuna will be killed. No problem. But Krishna is there. Wherever there is Krishna, how will he let his devotees, suffer? So what he did, he told, you should do this. And Arjuna is very expert. Wherever his father was, he knows exactly how to shoot the arrow, with what force, everything. They are all superheroes actually. They are all superheroes. And he has done to so much perfection that, the head of Jayadratha went and, settled in the hands of his father who was doing meditation. He was sitting and meditating like this. And suddenly his son's head came and fell in this, and then, and he threw the head, and his father's head broke into pieces. Not Arjuna's. So, this is what the Lord can do. Can we imagine? We cannot imagine. That which is beyond our conception also the Lord can do. Nobody can conceive of this, but the Lord can do those which cannot be conceived. So, karthum, akartum, anyata kartum. He can undo what he has done and redo what he has again undone. And that which is impossible is possible for the Supreme Lord. That is the definition of Supreme Lord. So anyway, what he says is here, through the Maya potency of Supreme Lord, I was talking about, we started by saying that Lord can impregnate through his sight. Just by the sight, he is looking at Maya. And just by looking at Maya, he can impregnate the innumerable living entities. And then Maya further creates, the entire universe. So, निज दृष्टि द्वारा माया के क्षुब्ध कराइया सूत्र अर्थात क्रिया शक्ति प्रधान महत्त्व के सृजन करें. So he creates महत्त्व. It's also called as sutra. Sutra means a thread. A thread, basically what is the meaning of a thread? Thread means that it is the source of everything. It is holding everything together. That is thread. Isn't it? That which holds everything is thread. So that Mahatattva is holding everything. That's why it's called as Sutra. Thread. 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 You understand thread, right? You can tell her what it is. You told? Okay. Now Srila Prabhupada writes in the commentary, अनुचित जीव कैवल्य धर्मे अवस्थित थाकिया भक्ति नित्यत्वे भगवत प्रेमा लाभ करें. The insignificant living entities or the minute living beings, but through the Kaivalya Dharma means again by offering one pointed service to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Bhakti Nityatve Bhagavad Prema Labh Karen. They get the love of Supreme Lord because the devotion is eternal. Therefore, a devotee must also be eternal. Isn't it? Devotion exists means what? A person who is performing devotion should also be eternal. Therefore, now in a previous verse that we talked about the dissolution. Srila Prabhupada wants to say that at the time of dissolution, entire material world comes to it is absorbed, it's dissolved. But the Lord's own abode and the Lord's devotees, they are not dissolved. They still remain eternal because devotion is eternal. So only those persons who have escaped from this material world through devotion to Supreme Lord, they are not subject to repeated evolution and dissolvement and repeated evolution and dissolution. They are not subject to that. Devotees are eternally performing devotion in the company of eternal Supreme Lord. जगद व्यापार वर्जन प्रभृति ब्रह्म सूत्रेर विचारे जगत सृष्टिकारी विभु संविते अणुसंवित के विलीन कोरार विचार वास्तव सत्य न है. बट सर्टेन पीपल दे थिंक that all the living entities they merge into Brahman. Their identity is lost. But Prabhupada says it is not true. Because those who are performing one-pointed devotion to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, they are eternally present. So this conception that at the time of dissolution everything is absorbed in Brahman, everything attains that state, is a wrong conception. It's a wrong conception. Sutrang विभु चेतन बद्ध जीव ओ गुणजात जगद्वयेर सृष्टिकर्ता रूपे गृहीत हन. विभु चेतन बद्ध जीव ओ गुणजात जगद्वयेर सृष्टिकर्ता रूपे गृहीत हन. Therefore, that Supreme Lord is known to be or understood to be a person who creates. He is telling that it is Supreme Lord, not a Brahman, a formless Brahman which is the cause of it. Because yesterday also we heard, yesterday or day before, the prayers of Gajendra, that he who exists beyond darkness at the time of dissolution, I offer my respects to him. Means at the time of dissolution the Lord still continues to exist. It is not that Lord is finished. Satyavrata Muni, he has seen the Supreme Lord at the time of dissolution. Because he had prayed that I want to see your, form. I want to see how dissolution looks like. I want to, look at it. Then the Lord had given him boon. Okay, you will, stay for this much kalpas so that at the time of dissolution you can see me. That's Markandeya, right? Markandeya, not Satyavrata. It's Markandeya. Markandeya Rishi. He has got this boon. So, when he saw that time of annihilation has come, he saw the entire earth is filled with water. It is flooded with water. All the living entities, all the vehicle, all the, other trees, etc., everything. And the houses, whatever is there, everything is being submerged in water. There's a complete dissolution state. And no living entity is able to bear that dissolution. But because Markandeya Rishi has got the boon, he had stayed even at that time. And then he was looking, where is life? There is no life. All the life is completely gone at the time of dissolution. At that time, he saw a beautiful small child lying on a banyan leaf. And then he is sucking his toe. He has put his toe in the mouth and he is sucking the toe. And he went and approached that it is actually Supreme Lord in a small form who is in such a relaxed state. The world is submerged in dissolution, the world is completely in chaos, but the Lord is in such a relaxed state. A small boy, when does he suck his toes? When does he suckle his toes? In a very relaxed mood, playful mood, isn't it? When he is crying or anything like that, when he is fearful, will he suckle his toes? You understand suckling the toes? So, she don't understand. So he was, a child, if he is in fear or angry or something, then he will not do this. In a very relaxed mood, he is suckling his own toes. Then he understood, oh, this must be Supreme Lord. Entire world is dissolved, but here is a person who is still existing. This is what he wanted to see, how it looks like. Then he composed beautiful prayers, that seeing that beautiful form of the Lord. In a similar way, here he is telling that the living entities are created, the material world is created, but there is a supreme person who is the cause of this. Not a Brahman, formless Brahman, everything gets back into him. Even they saw a beautiful person and then offered their prayers like Markanda Rishi and others. Therefore, he says that those who have got one-pointed devotion, they will attain Supreme Lord. And they will be performing eternal service to him, eternal devotion to him. And others, they will get dissolved and then they again will be evolved. They will take birth and then they will suffer for so many lifetimes, enter back into Mahavishnu's body, again emanate, and then this continues on and on till we don't break this chain and go back to the Supreme Lord. Tamahus triguna vyaktim सृजन्तीं विश्वतो भुक्तो मुखम यस्मिन् प्रोतमिदं विश्वम येन संसारते पुमान যাহাতে এই বিশ্ব গ্রথিত রহিয়াছে এবং যদ্বারা জীব সংসার দশা প্রাপ্ত হয় শাস্ত্র কারকগণ ত্রিগুণাত্মক বিবিধ বিশ্বের প্রকটনকারী সেই মহাতত্ত্বকেই ত্রিগুণের কার্য বলিয়া থাকেন. So he's talking about Mahatattva. Mahatattva, inside Mahatattva has the three modes of material nature. You see, the three modes of material nature are required in this material world. This material world is a combination of three modes of material nature only. Just like we heard previously, if we have three basic colors, you can mix these three basic colors, red, green and blue. These are called as the basic colors. If you mix these colors in different proportions, then you get a different color combination. We learnt in our mathematics that one color ranges from 0 to 255, a code. So total 266, 0 to 255 means 266. Okay. White means all 0, 0, 0. Black means 255, 255, 255. Okay, or no, it's the other way. White is 255, 255, 255 and black is 0, 0, 0. Means complete black to complete 255, 255, 255. There are innumerable colors. How? 256 into 256 and 256 colors you can have. That is the variety. Just from three colors, you can create, I don't know what is 256 into 256 and 256. You can just calculate within yourself, or if you have a calculator, just calculate. This many colors are possible with three basic colors. Now, just imagine Maya. She has three potencies, Sattvaguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. With the combination of these three gunas, there are multiple gunas. One has, little of Sattvaguna, little more of Rajoguna and little less of Tamoguna. Little more of Tamoguna, little less of Rajoguna and more of Sattvaguna. Like this, how much is possible? Infinitesimal, infinite combinations are possible. So that is why in this material world, everyone is acting under the influence of three modes of material nature. One of the principles that the sadhus apply, that they don't get angry with anyone, is they see that, oh, this is by the influence of this mode of material nature, he is behaving like this. Therefore, it is not his fault. It is because of the influence of particular mode of nature he is behaving like yantra rudhani mayaya. Because by the influence of Maya, he is behaving like this. Therefore, why should I be angry upon him? We get angry, annoyed with someone so easily because we see that he is behaving like this. But the pure devotees see, oh, actually it is because of the modes of material nature he is situated in, he is being acted, prone to act in such a way. So therefore they don't get agitated. That is why the vision of the devotees is always supreme. The Sankhya philosophy of Kapila Dev, it speaks very, very detailedly about all these things, about the various modes of material nature, about the Panchatattva, the interaction of these modes with the other things, and how people will get what kind of reaction by which kind of guna. Very vividly explained. That's called Sankhya philosophy. By understanding the Sankhya philosophy, one will come to a stage, oh, these are the various activity of the various modes of material nature influencing a person. Therefore, nobody is my enemy or nobody is my friend. Nobody is a person who is an object of my anger. Nobody is an object of my hatred, because it's ultimately some kind of mode is acting upon him. This is the vision of the devotees. Therefore, they don't get annoyed and anger. So, here Mahat Tattva is telling has the three modes of material nature in him, and this Mahat Tattva is the sutra, is the thread, is the connecting thing where everything lies upon. Vishwa Gratito Hoiyache. So, entire world, entire cosmos is being held by this string or by this thread. Evang Jadvara Jiva Sansar Dasha Prapta Hoy, and through this string only the living entities get the various kind of species. They take birth in various kind of species, and they are influenced to act in a different way. शास्त्र कारगण त्रिगुणात्मिक विविध विश्वेर प्रकटनकारी से तत्व की त्रिगुणेर कार्य बोलिया थाकेन. So those who are expert in the scriptures, those who have knowledge of the scriptures, they understand that these are the activities that are done by the three modes of material nature only. Material modes of nature or Mahat Tattva, which has the modes of material nature as the cause or as the string, as a thread that is connecting all of these things. Srila Prabhupada writes in the commentary, Achit sargo paramatma hoite satya sattyi prakashita hoiya keval chetan dharme avasthita jiver swasthya viparjaya ghataiya kalakshoba rajye prabhu rupe sthapan kore. Those who have detached themselves from the Supreme Lord, or those who have become averse to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, they get just the opposite, viparjaya, just the opposite mentality. They are not, submission. They don't have the feeling of submission. They get just the opposite feeling. That is, I am the master. In a living entity by nature is a servant. As we discussed before, I wanted to say this, but we entered into some other topic. The living entities, all the living entities, they come under the Prakriti, means the feminine potency of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Shakti means feminine. Shaktiman means masculine. Supreme Lord, we are the energy of Supreme Lord, means we are the feminine part of Supreme Lord. Therefore, all of us are to become his servants. Shakti should live for the Shaktiman. The energy should serve the energetic, isn't it? What is the purpose of expanding the energy? It is to serve the energetic. The Lord has expanded himself into Sandhini, Samvet and Hladini potencies. These potencies are serving the Supreme Lord. My energy, Guru Maharaj often used to say, my energy should exist for my service only. Isn't it? My energy is there. I can do something. I can earn money. Let's say that is my energy. I can earn money. Therefore, I earn money for my service. My energy should exist for me. I am converting my time. I am converting my sweat. I am converting my labor into money. Isn't it? I am doing so many things. I am converting my time, and I am converting my blood. I am converting my sweat. I am converting my energy, everything into money. So now that money is my energy. Therefore, that should serve me. If this is true, we think that my energy should serve me, then why not Supreme Lord's energy? Supreme Lord's energy should also exist for him only. Therefore, as the energy particles of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, our only objective is to serve him. But when the opposite tendency comes, no, I can exist independently. Why should I serve? Why can I not become master? Then, because of that aversion, because of the counter feeling, we artificially think that we become the masters. मुक्ति अभिमानी जीव केवु प्रभुर सज्जाय स्थापन करिबार प्रयास पाए. And also those who are endeavoring for mukti, they want to merge into Brahman, they also think that we are Brahman. We also become that Brahman, that supreme Brahman. So the living entities, they are also in kind of an illusion that they think that I am the master. I can control. Who is able to control now? Nobody is able to control the coronavirus. Nobody. You are thinking that you are a master. Oh, I can do this, I can do this. But who? So many days have passed. Who is able to control this coronavirus? Is there anyone calling themselves as controllers? The Supreme Lord, in the middle of all these things, intermittently he gives teachings, provided we want to learn. Those who learn from these, they will be delivered. But those who still think, oh, we are the controllers, we can do, they will have to remain. So this is mercy of the Supreme Lord. Intermittently he gives this kind of a mercy that this is not the place where you think that you can master, or where you think that you can lord over. You cannot lord over here. Still this world is mine. This is not your world. You are still enjoying my world. Yes, I have not created anything. I might have become just a masonry. You understand a masonry? He can just create, he can just mix cement and sand and then construct a house. That's it. That is the most we can do. But all the ingredients are provided by the Supreme Lord only. So we can just become masonries in this material world. But we cannot be creators, or we cannot be enjoyers. Our position is as a servant only, and we remain servant only. But falsely, foolishly, we think that we are the masters, and we are suffering in this material world. And other kind of persons who are yet in illusion is those who think that, oh, I am liberated, now I am merging into Brahman, therefore I am also Brahman, I am also a master. Am Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. That is also a false conception, false understanding of the Supreme and the living entity's actual state. Living entities are minute. Brahman or Supreme Lord is infinite. So where is minute and where is infinite? Minute can never become infinite. At no point in time, a minute being can become an infinite being. At no point. अनुचित जीवगण पुरुषाभिमाने व्यस्त होइया पुरुषोत्तमेर अवैध अनुकरण क्रमे विकृति इच्छाए वशवर्ती होइया बद्ध भूमिकाए विचरणेर दुर्भाग्य लाभ करे. So these minute living beings, in their tendency to imitate the Supreme, they are minute. They cannot do so much. But their tendency to imitate the Supreme Lord, oh, Supreme Lord is the master, why can't I be the master? So in their tendency to imitate that Supreme Master, he is telling, Vikrita Ichhai, they will have all the counter desires. What are the counter desires? Actual desire is to become servant. But we become just the opposite, master. So because of that perverted desire of the living entities, Baddha bhumikaye bicharane durbhagya labh kore. Because of that, he has to suffer in this material world only. He wants to imitate the Supreme Lord, he wants to become the master, but that becomes his misfortune because he has to suffer in this material world because of his foolish understanding that he can imitate the Supreme Lord. And because of that perverted desire to become the master, that will only condition him, bind him more and more in this material world. Nirantar Bhagavat Sevai Kaivalya. Therefore, constant service to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is what is to be desired. That is the only thing that is to be desired. Because we, as the parts of the potency of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, our actual duty is to serve the Supreme Lord, not to become masters independently. If we are in the company of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Lord is always placing his devotees above him. We can become the masters if the Lord desires. If we are actually the servants of Supreme Lord, the Lord always gives precedence to his own devotees, isn't it? The friends are climbing on the shoulders of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Even the Supreme Lord is the master there, they are climbing on top of him, means he is keeping them in the state of being a master. But if we imitate, no, I don't want to submit, but I want to get it, then we will suffer in this material world. But if we submit, then the Lord automatically awards. We heard the other day, Jayadeva Goswami is writing one poem in which he says, Devi Tava Pada Pallavam, I touch your feet, lotus feet. Who? Krishna is himself is, thinking like this. When Jayadeva Goswami got this thought, oh, why Krishna is touching the feet of Radharani? Have I committed a mistake? Has my mind got polluted? And then he goes to take bath. Then Krishna in the form of Jayadeva Goswami, he assumes the form of Jayadeva Goswami. He comes and he completes the poem, whatever thought has come. Yes, I touch the feet of my devotees. I keep them on top of my head. How? By becoming submissive to him. If we want to become masters, then we have to become submissive to him. There is one story. What is time now? Okay, there is time. Here is one story. There was a king. That king was always going to his subjects, and then he was finding out, what their needs are. So one time he is going in the one direction of his kingdom, and then he asks a person that, I have come to shower my, mercy on you. What is your want? Please tell me. Then he says, my dear king, in our house, there is a lot of poverty. There is no money. Please give us some money so that we can take care of our, daily needs. And he tells his subjects who are following him, this house should be filled with money. Finished. The next day the house was filled with money, and whatever they want, they enjoyed. So the king walked further. What do you need? We have everything, my dear king, but we don't have good water supply here. We have to bring water from that far of distance. Please, if you can, dig a well here in this place, then we will be very happy. Okay, dig the well here. Immediately the work should start. Because the king was very, very merciful. Whoever asked for whatever thing, he would immediately supply all those things. So there was a nice, well that was, constructed there, dug in. He went further. Yes, is there anything that you require? Yes, the roads are not good here. Approach road is not good. If you can prepare highway roads here, then we will be very happy. Finished. Our daughter is to be married, no money. Okay, take money. Someone else, something else, take money. Someone else, no house, take the house. Whatever people are asking for, he is supplying everything. Suddenly, he is walking like this, and he goes and sees a person is very, very dull and morose, sitting. Are you in need of something? What do you want? I am here to give whatever you want. He says, my dear Lord, I don't think I need anything, but I need a friend. I just need a friend. If someone can become my friend, then I will be happy. That will keep me happy. The Lord cannot tell to someone, I become his friend. No, but the king cannot force someone. He said, okay, why will I force anyone? I will become your friend. So the Lord himself told that I will become your friend. Okay. So now this poor man, he has got a friend. Now friend means what? You have to be, showing friendship. So the king would sometimes go to this place. But this house, the place where he is staying, is a thatched house. Hut, thatched, and when there is rain, it falls inside. There is no proper, asan to sit, nothing. But the king is going every day. How will he stay in a thatched house? How will he sit on a floor? Because the king is going, oh, there should be a beautiful house here. There should be beautiful asan. How can my friend be so poor? It is the king's friend, he has to be rich. So very nice house is prepared, nice singhasan, everything. Now every day the king is going, the roads are not good. Roads are not good. The king says there should be highway here. How can I go on this, roads that are bumpy? There should be highway road. Highway road is constructed. Where to get water from? Oh, I will get water from there. My dear friend, why will you go that far? I will dig a well here only, next to your house. Well is constructed. Well is dug and there is nice water. But every day the king cannot come. He tells, my dear friend, I am coming every day. You are not coming. I can come, my king, but kingdom is very far. It will take time. My rath will be here. My chariot will be here. You come on the chariot every day. So there is a vehicle also. He didn't ask any of these things. But he asked, just become my friend. When he asked, become my friend, the king has automatically given him everything. Because he cannot see his friend in worry or anxiety or in need of something. Therefore, whatever the friend could not conceive of, the poor man, he would have asked, give me a nice house, that's it, finished. Or he would have asked, give me a nice well, finished. Oh, then he would have thought, oh, I have a big list, I would have given him big list, I want well, I want road, I want this, I want that, I want that. He would have made a big list. Oh, yesterday did not strike me when king came. One might think like this. But this person told, become my friend. Simply becoming friend, automatically you will get everything. In a similar way, if we want to get our relationship revived with Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, we are asking, oh God, give me money. Oh God, please save me for coronavirus. Oh God, please do this. Oh God, please do this. If at all we are doing. Many are not doing also. But if at all some people are doing, oh God, please save us. Oh God, please give us our daily bread. Oh God, please see that we are happy. If you become his friend, automatically he will see that everything is happy with you, isn't it? Isn't it smart way of, worshipping God? Yes, my Lord, I want you to be my friend. That's it. And whatever comforts that the king himself is, enjoying, the same comforts the friend also got. In a similar way, why I said this is that if we want to befriend Krishna, then Krishna will keep us above his head. He is always worshipping his devotees. But if we want to become independent worshippers, no, I want to be worshipped in this world, I want to become an enjoyer, I want to become a master, okay, suffer, get lost, you suffer. So, Vaishnavas are very smart, not that they want to get worshipped, but it is Supreme Lord supremacy that, he allows his devotees worship before his worship, but the devotees are constantly submitted to him. Therefore, he says, Nirantar Bhagavat Sevai Kaivalya. Therefore, only our objective should be to serve the Supreme Lord always. Maya dwara Bhagavat Seva Vichinno Hoyai Tahar Prabhutva. Because of the Maya, because of the influence of Maya, and we have separated ourselves from the Supreme Lord, we think that we are masters. But actually, our true position is that we are his servants. प्रभुरे व्यतीत ताहार एक मुहूर्तेर जन्नवु अन्न चिंता नाय प्रभुत्व व्यतीत ताहार एक मुहूर्तेरो अन्न जन्नवु अन्न चिंता नाय. So these persons who have become forgetful of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, they cannot think anything other than how can I become controller or master. Some wants to become controller or master in their own house. some want to become controllers of the streets, some want to control the state, some wants to control the country, some wants to control the world, some wants to control the universe. But all of us are constantly thinking, how can I earn money so that everyone worships me, so that everyone knows me, so that I am recognized, so that I get name and fame. Everyone is constantly thinking of this. Why? Because of their forgetfulness of their relationship with Supreme Lord. सूत्रांग भगवत सेवा विमुक्ताई संसारे भोगी गणेर एकमात्र वृत्ति. Therefore, the only duty of those who are averse to Sri Krishna is how to make ourselves very, very far from service. Because they don't want to become das, they want to become masters. They don't want to become servants, they want to become masters. By our true nature, we are servants, but because they want to become masters, they want to become masters because of their aversion to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That's why they are constantly thinking, how can I become a lord? How can I lord over everything in this material world? But it is never going to be possible because Supreme Lord is the controller of everything. And one has to submit to him only. That is the ultimate goal of everyone. So that is the end of this verse. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha पतितानम पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की